Hello, I'm Chief Randazzo with the Macomb County Animal Control. The following program is designed to inform you, the residents of Macomb County, of animal welfare issues that are taking place in our neighborhoods. So stay tuned. I hope you enjoy it. So this is Deputy Sanchez, and this is Zoe. Deputy Sanchez rescued Zoe out of a home. Unfortunately, Zoe did have owners that did not care for her properly. So she was taken to our veterinary clinic, where we just try to rule out some stuff as far as why is the dog in this condition. That's part of our forensic investigation when it comes to animal cruelty, neglect, or abuse. The first thing we want to find out is there anything metabolic going wrong with the dog. So we do that through some basic diagnostic testing, and all of her tests came back good. Obviously, we know she's going to be anemic and have some other problems, but nothing that would put her in a bad situation that you find her in now. As you can see, she has a lot of pressure sores. She was kept in a crate. You can see how skinny she is. And unfortunately, now she doesn't trust humans, which is what we're going to find from most situations that involve animals like this. So now our big concern for Zoe is, can we get her through this? Unfortunately, she was in such bad condition we could not even sedate her because all her vital signs were not in good condition and not showing us positive signs to make her strong enough to be sedated. So we're just going to foster her in a medical care right now and then just try to get her healthy enough that we can sedate her and do some more diagnostic work on her. But she's in great hands with Deputy Sanchez. But again, this talks about how important it is that if you see something, say something.
We renamed her Zoe. We didn't want her previous name to associate with her new life that's going to be in better hands. I am her current medical foster and behavioral foster. Zoe requires a lot of attention. She requires feedings for every 4 hours. That means throughout the night too. She has a lot of fear issues. She doesn't like her head being touched. She can actually be a little bit of a fear biter just because she doesn't trust anybody. Unfortunately, when we received the call about her, there was a furnace employee checking out the home and had noticed a dog in a crate. They had mentioned sores and got concerned about the dog, so we got the call. When we went out there, we had no idea that this was gonna be of Zoe. The sores that he was seeing were actually clumps of matted fur. She was unable to use her back legs because of how weak she was. She was in a crate that was drenched in and stained of urine. She didn't have any food in there. She didn't have water in there. She had a bowl that was completely tipped over. Her towel that was once white was completely yellow and dark brown from all of the dirt and the feces. She didn't, I think a couple of days later, I think we might have found Zoe dead. So we acted pretty quickly, got a hold of Chief Randazzo, and made some things happen. She was owner surrendered to us and then taken over to the emergency vet clinic that we use immediately. From there, our veterinarian was in shock to see how skinny and how emaciated she was. So the mom was there and she had mentioned that, well, I'm hardly ever home. And she made it sound like she was just always out working.
Right.
And yeah, there we go. Hey, relax. I know. You're getting your, hold on. And anyhow, so she made it sound like she was just always on the road, always never at home. And then when I asked the gentleman, he had said, well, it's not my dog. I explained to her that, this is your dog and you have to, you take care of your dog. They started arguing with each other because she's like, well, I don't know why you said that you only fed her, 4 days ago, because that's what he had told me, which would have been Monday. And she had said that she fed the dog on Sunday. Nobody could tell me that she had been eating throughout the week.
So I think an important aspect of a situation like this when what we feel is a crime takes place, right? So we have owners that we could, through the court system, prove that they neglected their dog. So even if they didn't voluntarily surrender their pet over to us, by law, we would just get a search warrant and take the dog, or animal for any case. Because we don't want them to be sitting in situations like this. We have to, as law enforcement, we have to act appropriately, which is to remove the pet from these dangerous and neglectful situations. Now what the situation would entail is doing your investigative report, so doing all the forensics, like we talked about earlier, making sure that it's not something metabolic, but even if it was, did the owners neglectfully allow the animal to suffer? And in this case, we feel they did, so now we work with our prosecutors and we are going to proceed with charges. And again, I know we mentioned this earlier, but we could apply the same concept to all these cruelty cases that we have going on now. And that is, if you see something, you need to say something. As pet owners, you have to be responsible with securing your pet. Your pet's lives depend on it. We just recently had a situation where a husky unfortunately got off his property on 2 occasions and harassed and unfortunately killed some livestock next door at the neighbor's house. And unfortunately, that neighbor resulted in shooting the husky. And it's a tragic situation for both the livestock owner and for the pet owner, because one, they're neighbors, and this is a terrible situation that a dog consistently was off the property, and that's why we promote so much that as pet owners, it's your responsibility to make sure that your pet's secured. I also think it's important to look at a situation like this, whether your dog went outside, escapes a yard, goes out the front door, you have to make sure that you have safeguards in place so that your pets are secured. Because somebody else that your pet approaches is going to perceive them maybe as a threat. They might not be dog people. They might just be minding their own business, jogging down the street, and all of a sudden here comes your dog. It's so important, in their life, in this situation, as you see, depends on it.
I was originally a vet tech of 17 years, and I had a different kind of passion that I wanted to pursue, which was animal control, and I originally started out Detroit animal care and control, but felt it as kind of a stepping stone to where I really wanted to get, which was Macomb County. I heard nothing but good things about Chief Randazzo and how he runs his department and the education that we do out here, and it's very night and day than what we see or have seen before with, in bigger cities like Detroit. We don't deal with just dogs and cats. We also deal with livestock and the occasional wildlife. If the animal is, extremely hurt, we try to assist in that as best as we can. Or if, sometimes we deal with the occasional rabies testings too. So we do a lot more than just dogs and cats that everybody thinks that we do. So we are going to a stray roam at 21 and Van Dyke.
So if we look at just Macomb County Animal Control in our service area, I would say 80% of all the dogs that we have in this building are stray dogs. They were picked up in one of our service communities, held at maybe the police department, or we picked them up, running loose. Usually never have ID. They usually never have any form of a microchip, anything that leads us back to the owner. That's 80% of the entire population of this building. And it's preventable. We offer free microchipping, $10 dog licenses, and so to me, it's offered 2 times a year for free. There's just no excuses. You want to set your pet up for success, then it's up to you that you put those safeguards in place.
Yeah, you do. You got Chip. That's your Chip.
Let's see what we got. Hello, Mr. Hulk. Hulk is your name, sir. Okay. AC4X to dispatch.
Go ahead, 4X.
You can cancel the breed search. Big guy over here has a microchip. We're gonna attempt to RTO.
Come on, Hulk. Come on.
When we scan microchips, we have a very nice system that allows us to find owners quickly. I mean, you can see here, he's got a baby picture on here, his microchip information, his name, his what he is, his sex, his breed, and then, you know, shortly down the way you can actually find the owner information pretty quickly. And thankfully he was microchipped so that we can try and reunite this big guy with his mom. So we're gonna give her a call to see if she's home. We're also gonna try and drive over there and see if we can't reunite them, because he's not that far away from home now. We're also gonna see if this big guy is already in our system and to see if he's licensed. Because again, in the state of Michigan, you are required by law to have your dog licensed. So some of the stuff too that you're seeing too is that because he's getting older and he's not neutered, you're gonna have some issues with him trying to escape and see other females around here, especially if that they're not fixed either and he smells them in heat. They're animals, unfortunately. So it's not like they can stop themselves. So it might be another reason why he's just kind of trying to escape. So you might want to consider getting him neutered. Hey, buddy.
Hulk. Hey, big boy. Where were you, huh? Where were you? No.
So thankfully he was microchipped, so he doesn't have to come into the station and be scared. Sometimes as much as enrichment as we do for our animals and as happy as we try to make it, there's no place like home.
That's okay.
It's a good outcome. You behave, mister.
One of the best
No, we're running
satisfactions that
away.
I see the team here at Macomb County Animal Control experience is when we could reunite a lost pet with its owner. Nothing's more satisfying than you see that pet, you know, a dog, so excited to see its owner, wagging its tail, jumping on them, like almost like they know that they did something wrong. But they're back home and they're safe. That is one of the best feelings that we could have here.
I've been here a little over 5.5 years, and I started working here as an entryway to get into like the law enforcement field while also working with animals. And I work here and chose to stay here because I'm extremely passionate about what I do, and I enjoy being able to say that I am a voice for those who can't speak for themselves. Compassion fatigue is a real thing. Burnout's a real thing. The goal is to remain compassionate about what you're doing, even through seeing it so much and experiencing so many different forms of it. I personally, most of us work together, whether we talk with each other afterwards, just to make sure that we're not bottling anything up and we're getting it out so that it doesn't kind of settle in. The last thing that we want as not only a community but as animal control professionals is to develop a sort of monotony towards it. The Roseville Police Department has kennels that they'll hold dogs in after hours for our emergency on-call, and then they'll call us in the morning to come and pick it up. You're not a terrier. All right, you ready? Can you sit? Can you sit? Good, yep, get the sniffs. Come on. Good boy. Oh, your mama. I'm sorry, little lady. That's a good girl. Come on. Wanna go for a ride? Come on. Good girl. Good girl. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Good job. We're not going to leave the leash on her. We're going to take the leash off. But for right now, what we're going to do is we're going to leave it on so that I can control while I'm trying to scan. For microchip. Good girl. Good. Sniff. Sniff. Yes. No chip? All right. That's okay. That's okay. You can come hang out with me today, huh?
So once the animal arrives here at Macomb County Animal Control, we go into the vet room with them. They're vaccinated, they're weighed, they have a gentle dewormer. We scan them for microchips. We just give them an overall physical exam. And the reason why we start doing the vaccines right away is we know that in shelter medicine, we want to get those antibodies responses as fast as we can. And we feel that it protects those pets. And like I said, the research shows that through University of California, University of Florida, shelter medicine says vaccinate those animals right when they're picked up. And so we follow that protocol because we want to make sure that we're setting up our entire population for success and we're protecting them the best we can from viruses and bacteria. And then they're actually placed into a kennel, and then we make sure that we do a lot of in-kennel enrichment. And then as you can see, we also have our play yards. So if the dog's scared, then we try to team it up with another, what we call one of our rock stars, so a friendly dog, because we know that there's going to be stressors placed on that dog just from merely picking it up and putting it into a situation like this. You could have the best facility in the state, but unfortunately it's never a place for an animal to be. So we want to make sure that we have best practices in place, which is in kennel and out of a kennel enrichment. So then what we start doing is putting that pet's picture up on social media, and we're hoping that the owner then can see it. And then we're hoping that there's going to be a, reuniting with their pet parent. One of our key responsibilities here at Macomb County Animal Control is that we inspect kennels. We perform kennel inspections in any place that is housing dogs, right? So, and it could be cats, rabbits, whatever it's going to be, but mostly we see it in the dogs.
He spoke to someone at the home and he's basically closed the case. He's saying that they're not breaking any ordinances, they're not running a business, they only have 3 dogs, but he didn't go inside the home, he didn't ask for further proof or anything like that. He just saw the 3 dogs, but the 3 dogs that are there, I don't know if they're the dogs that are in our system. Either way, all 3 of those dogs are not currently licensed with us. Yeah, so do you want to just tell Mike to put that call in for me then? Then Zach and I will go ahead and go out there.
Yep, I'll have him put it in right now.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome, be careful.
All right, thanks.
Yep, bye.
Bye. Okay. So this person is providing a service. She actually has a website. She also utilizes Facebook. And on her website, it actually says that she brings and houses the animals for a service of training the people's dogs, which you can't run a business outside of your home, not without proper licensing. Also, for her particular city, they require a pet limit of 3, which she does have 3 dogs licensed. They're expired, which we're going to go and talk about that as well. Because in the state of Michigan, every dog, doesn't matter where it's located, but the state of Michigan requires that every dog has a license, and which that license has been since 1919. So it's not like it's just a new thing. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with this. If she is running a business or she is running a kennel, then she needs to stop immediately. Looks like we got a Doberman, a Pit Bull, and a little Min Pin.
That one's decrepit.
I see that. Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. So I'm Deputy Sanchez. I'm with Macomb County Animal Control.
Okay.
So we got a call and complaint out here that you may be running a
I already have
business.
township here.
I get it,
I
but
do run a business, so
Okay.
I train dogs.
Okay.
That's what I do. I don't have people here. I don't have lessons here. I already showed the township I have no kennels.
Okay.
I already know what it stems from. I have a neighbor here that complains on everybody.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
So obviously, you obviously know that the code enforcement was out here. I have to conduct my own
I know.
investigation.
I know.
So the 3 that I had seen, are those your personal?
Those 3 are. Yep.
Okay.
And I just checked their licenses. Expired last year, so I do still have to get them this year.
Okay. Okay, so do you mind showing me around to see, obviously, the premises and make sure that you only have 3 dogs here?
Yeah. Like, what do you want to do? I can show you my backyard. But
Yeah, so backyard.
we're not going to go in there. I'll just show you the yard.
Okay, that's fine. And then obviously, inside the home, preferably.
And the reason why we have a very robust ordinance for that inspection is to make sure that the people that are dropping their pets off at that facility know that it's inspected, we have best practices in place, and that they should feel comfortable that it is inspected, because most places do not do that. And I feel strongly about it because I want to make sure that the community at large has faith in animal control, that we're putting our best foot forward by enacting best practices and regulations for those facilities to follow.
So how many dogs total are on property?
3 dogs.
Okay, so you don't have the 3 that you posted on Facebook 3 days ago,
2 of them went home, and 1.
even though that you state on your own Facebook post that they're staying here for several weeks.
Yeah, they don't stay for several. Well, I mean, they stay for 2 or 3 weeks when they're here.
Yeah, well, that's several. I mean, you know, more than 2. So you have them here or you don't have them here?
I have 1 going. Well, no, I have 1 in there going home.
Okay, so you have more than 3.
Currently.
Okay.
Just the little one, she's going home at 4 o'clock, but I'm just kind of watching her for the day.
Okay, so do you want to show me?
I'd rather not because she's not friendly.
Well, I don't have to touch her. I don't have to touch her.
I know, but I don't want to stress her out, so.
Okay, because I'm going to be honest with you, it looks like you're running a business out of here.
I'm running a business.
Right, and it also, which it's prohibited,
Okay.
okay?
Well, I'll let the township come back and get fine or whatever they have to do.
Sure. Well, so you have 4 here total. So you don't have, so which one out of the 1 out of your post do you have here currently?
Out of my post.
Yeah, if you pull up your own Facebook page, you state on there that you have several and that you have 3.
Come and go.
I'm just telling you what you put on your own Facebook post, which makes me believe you have 6 here,
They come and go.
which is why I'm asking you to show me. Because if you're not lying to me, then you are not going to have an issue.
Well, I do have the 1, so.
So just the 1, or do you have multiple?
Well, I might have a couple.
Yeah, so let's start over, Annie.
All right. But
Because
I'm
you're,
not going to show them to you.
let's start over, Annie, because you're lying to me right now.
Well,
I don't,
I'm trying not to get in trouble, so yes.
I understand that you're trying not to get in trouble, but you have to understand, right?
No, I do.
You teach kids not to lie because you're going to get caught, right? You're getting caught right now. I'll be clear from Oak Lawn and back in service.
HG4, we have you cleared from Oak Lawn, back in service, 1525.
So, after speaking with the owner, she did finally confess she was caught in several lies. And when I approached her about that she is in fact housing more than just her personal pets, which she stated herself online, she then came clean. She is actually housing actually a total of 9 pets. So 3 of her own and 6 others that are not her own. That is 6 way over the pet limit of what is allowed by their ordinance. So she does understand after Monday, I'm going to give her time to let these dogs go back to their original owners. She does understand that she's not allowed to be bringing any more pets around here past her 3 limit until she gets approved for a kennel license. So she also does understand that she has to get her dogs licensed as well because she is not in compliance with her state, city, or county ordinance as far as her dogs licensed. So we're gonna go from there.
Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in to On Patrol. We're glad to be back. We're glad to have you back. And we're glad that you're getting a chance to look inside Macomb County Animal Control. And if you are looking for a pet, please come here. Please call us. You can go onto our website, Macomb County Animal Control, and you can check us out on Facebook, Macomb County Animal Control Division. And again, we thank you for tuning in.